This is Dogmatic Media. I am your host, Jay.
And I'm your co-host, Briana.
As always, on tonight's show, we are talking about Black Panther. It came from the 508's own James D. Lamond and Paul Turgeon. We're also going to be... No, we're not also going to be. So on tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about Black Panther. It came from the 508's own James D. Lamond and Paul Turgeon. But I think first, my lovely co-host has something she wants to get off of her chest about a certain Netflix movie that she saw.
Okay. I would warn you about spoilers, but I don't think you should watch this anyways, so I don't really give a shit about spoilers. Okay, so this movie is called Open House. Now, I work real estate, and I love horror movies, so I was like, word, watch trailer, thinking maybe, alright, this could go either way. This could be like a murder, creepy movie, this could be a paranormal movie. Cinematography looked great, so I'm like, alright, word. Tried to watch it. So you know that little bitch boy from 13 Reasons Why? Well, it's always crying. Okay, so he's in the movie. And his dad dies, oh boo-hoo, okay. So, they don't have a house anymore, so his mom's sister was like, oh hey, I have a house. You just have to leave on Sundays for open house. Okay, so they move. Right, seems legit.
Right.
All this creepy shit starts happening. Alright, you meet some weird creepy people from the town, this old lady, questionable man, whatever.
She was a little weird. I didn't understand why she was there.
Yeah.
At all.
None of them made any sense to why they were there. You think, oh, well that dude from the town, he could probably be a bad guy.
Right.
Or that old lady. Nah, she's a fucking dementia. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So all this shit happens. And then this random dude just comes to the house and starts fucking killing people? Does he come to every open house in the area?
I watched it and it just, to me, it seemed super cliche.
It was super...
Like the mom and dad with the kid, and then the dad dies and he's all, mopey and gothy. And I don't know.
I don't even care about that. Like, whatever, cliche or not, there's a bunch of great cliche movies. Yeah, but this had to be the worst movie I've ever seen, because there was no rhyme or reason. The dude kills people for no fucking reason. There's no tie into it. But whatever. Just don't watch it. That's all I have to say. I'm just very upset about it.
It's an hour and a half of your life you'll never get back.
But I know I'm not the only one that has any sort of opinions about movies.
No. We have our own James D. Lamond, and he has some video releases that he wants to talk about. So we're going to get to Dogmatic Video. Check it out.
What's going on, guys? James, founder of It Came From the 508, with this episode's installment of Dogmatic Video. Got 3 videos to talk about today that I picked up. First one of which is Batman Gotham by Gaslight. These are the superior films that DC is coming out with right now, which will be the animated films. The last few I wasn't so into, but Gotham by Gaslight is my favorite Batman story of all time. It's set in Victorian era Gotham City. It's kind of a play on the original mythos, which is really interesting, and it has Batman hunting Jack the Ripper. Now, I know you might be worried about the concept, it's animated. This is a hard R-rated film. It's got blood, guts, awkward animation sex. It's a little off-putting given all that's going on, but it is a really interesting story. If I had to say anything negative about it, I would say that the writing from the book is vastly dumbed down for the show, and I don't know, it kind of loses a little bit on that. And again, some of the sex scenes are just,
yeah, baby. Yeah.
It takes the Batman mythology and really flips it on its head. It changes up a lot of the characters and gives them a really interesting spin in the Victorian era, and he's hunting Jack the Ripper. That's just Batman versus Jack the Ripper. It's a really cool idea. Beyond that, not so much to speak of in the extras. Wasn't really anything going on there. On the upside, it was only about, $16? It wasn't so bad. Out of a possible 13, I am going to give it an 8. Only because the writing was a bit dumbed down. But other than that, it's definitely worth a look. Next up, Takashi Miike's Blade of the Immortal. This is by far and away getting the gold star this episode. Holy shit. This movie was nuts. It follows, if you don't know who Takashi Miike is, he made the film Ishi the Killer, Audition, 13 Assassins, Imprint, like, as far as foreign horror action films go, he's a legend. This movie was just balls to the wall insane on all levels. It follows the story of a unkillable samurai named Manji, and he has so many weapons stuffed into his kimono. I'm pretty sure he jacked it from Inspector Gadget, but it's just brutally violent from beginning to end, and it's so over the top. He guards this little girl from this rival samurai clan, and he just kills. I mean, in the first like 5 seconds of the movie, 100 people die. 100. I literally paused the movie and counted. I got a head count of dead bodies. It was 100 people, and a whole bunch of people died in the middle, and then a whole bunch more died at the end, like 300 people. It's insane. It's so over the top. It's so well done. And I mean, on a deeper level, he's really like talking about like what being immortal would mean. Like, you don't, like the scars that you carry and pick up along the way, because he may like get injured or something. He doesn't bounce back quite how you would think. He doesn't just like bond back together. There's scars. So I mean, there's a metaphor there that I didn't really care about. I was just loving the violence. It plays out like any good samurai movie does. It plays out like a western. This is like the Japanese feudal mega violent version of True Grit, and it is just awesome. As far as extras go, I had a lot of cast interviews and things of that nature, but the real like shining star of this is called Manji vs. 300. And it is not it's not a making of the film, it's a breakdown of the end sequence of the film and how one guy took on 300 and how complicated it was to shoot. And it's just so intriguing to watch. Especially as a filmmaker, it's really intriguing to watch, but I think it'd be interesting for anybody to see because it's just so awesome. And I mean, it really just shows how hardcore Japanese stuntmen are. I mean, I've got guys on sets that whimper like scared squirrels when when we need someone to smack them, like on the back or something like that. And these guys are like rolling out of second-story windows, falling dead on the ground with no safety equipment whatsoever, and they're just jumping up like, let's do it again. It's over the top. It's insane. If I was going to score it, I'm going to definitely say out of 13, it's a hard 12 for me. It's a hard 12. The only negative I would say is that it is subtitled. So if you don't like that, if you're not into subtitled films, if you prefer a dubbed version, which I don't, you lose all the emotion in the acting with dubbed. It's just not good. But if you don't enjoy subtitled films, you're probably going to lose something. So we'll say 12 out of 13 for me, and if you lack basic reading skills, 9 out of 13. And lastly, this episode, Hellraiser Judgment. Yeah, okay. Let me just get this out of the way. I know a lot of diehard Hellraiser fans were pretty put out that Doug Bradley wasn't playing Pinhead. You do not have to worry about that with this film. Pinhead gets so little screen time that, I mean, shit, I get more fucking screen time on this show than he had in the movie. Really, it just wasn't anything. It was like he was like wallpaper. The Hellraiser, it's called Hellraiser Judgment, but really the Hellraiser stuff just feels like it's tacked on to a really derivative version of 7.
No! No!
There's this serial killer aspect. It's just not really. It doesn't really pop. The makeup effects are really cool. But beyond that, it's mostly forgettable. It's not. The one thing I would say that is really, really great about the film is the new Cenobite character, the Auditor. the director and writer of the film plays this character, and it's just this like stuffed shirt bureaucrat from hell, and it's really intriguing. Beyond that, though, I mean, a lot of it is just kind of forgettable. It kind of almost feels like they took this script for this serial killer movie that was ripping off Seven, and they kind of just disjointedly interwove all of the Hellraiser aspects into it. Like, the box doesn't even really come into play.
What's in the fucking box?
And there's a lot of fan service, like when the guy greets somebody, he's like, oh, we have such sights to show you, and it just didn't work for me. You might disagree, I don't know, but it didn't work for me. That being said, it's still a jump up in quality from the last couple. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to Hellraiser for the last 10 years, but it's had this drastic downslope in quality. But we're talking about this movie kind of made me look fondly back on Hellraiser 3, like I look at the Bush presidency now that Trump's in office. You know what I mean?
This guy is sick. There's something wrong with this guy.
Out of a possible 13, shit, it's gonna get a 5. It was forgettable. I would say if there was a franchise that needed a hard reboot, that genuinely just needed to start from zero, and we just get a remake of Hellraiser and it goes from there, it is Hellraiser. Like, they've been doing these movies dirty for too damn long, and I mean, the last really good one was Bloodline, and when did Bloodline come out? Like 1996? Like, come on, guys, it's been 22 years. Give us a good Hellraiser movie. I'm fucking begging you. That's gonna be it for me, guys. If you are interested, make sure you check out our sister channel here on YouTube for It Came From the 508 Productions. We just released our new trailer for my next film, The Box. It's a pretty good time. It looks like, I think it looks like a lot of fun. I hope you guys agree with me. I'll see you in a couple of seconds because I'm going to be jumping in with Jay and Bree. So, see you then.
And by the power of movie magic, we're back, and we have James, and we have Paul, and we're going to be talking now about Black Panther. Now, before we even get started with this conversation, I'm going to talk to you, the audience. We appreciate all of your comments, but if you guys make any racially charged comments on this episode, next episode we will rip you to shreds. So you have been warned. We are going to steer clear of that whole narrative for this movie.
Yeah,
So,
don't be an asshole.
full disclosure, I didn't watch it, and I don't think you watched it either.
Nope.
So
That's okay.
this is going to be the Paul and James show right now.
Yeah.
We went to the theater last week, checked it out. Paul,
Thoughts? Well, Paul doesn't like any
Well, look,
movies,
no,
so-
that's not true. I actually did. I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
I liked it. It was okay. It wasn't something I would go and see again or buy.
Are you a Marvel fan in general, or
Not
no?
really.
All right,
no.
so
I mean, I like Captain America, but yeah, that's about it.
See, I have a hard time with the whole Marvel universe thing. Like, if I didn't connect with the characters back in the comic books, I can't really get into the movie.
right, exactly.
I wasn't a fan of Iron Man. I wasn't a fan of Captain America. Like, I liked Spider-Man growing up. Venom. I can't wait for the new
Oh
Venom
yes,
movie to come
so
out.
excited for that.
You know, even like Batman stuff. I'll watch those types of things. But if I can't connect with the comic book, I'm not going to connect with the movie. So
Right.
I mean,
that's probably why I steered clear of this one, because I don't really know anything about it.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed it. But I have questions.
Such as?
It was really heavily, and this beyond the racially charged things, it was heavily politically motivated.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that I think the plot suffered for it
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, because it was talking about things like open borders and
Yeah. The ending.
giving aid to other things. And yeah, I mean, the villain really, like, that's what really sunk it for me. They had Daniel, the guy from Get Out, the lead
Yes,
from
yes.
Get Out.
Oh, yeah.
He was playing like the side character, and he can act circles around Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And why wasn't he the main villain and Michael B. Jordan the side guy? Because Michael B. Jordan could not deliver
Really?
on that villain thing. He was a complex guy that felt really one-sided.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really where the movie dropped the ball.
Now, my thing with comic book movies is I like them to stay true to the comics.
Yeah,
version.
absolutely.
Somewhat. I mean, I know you can't because these comics have been around for years, but to stay somewhat true to. Do you think this movie accomplished that?
It was pitch perfect to the
Really?
comics.
Good.
It really was.
Even with the politically charged thing?
I mean, Black Panther. You got to remember where the comic came out of.
Absolutely.
Where it was. We're talking about a comic that came out in the 70s.
Right.
Politically charged.
Right.
From the jump, and that's good.
Right,
It was
of course.
good. It was starting a conversation that needed to be talked about.
And still today.
And still to this day, there's
Right.
a conversation that has to be said. I completely agree with that.
As long as it doesn't sell for the film.
My thing with movies is, as a filmmaker, as a film viewer,
Of course.
your story can't suffer from your message.
Right.
Your story cannot suffer from your message. The minute you cross that line where you're trying to be too, and this isn't in the case for Black Panther, but too pretentious about the message you're trying to bring about. If the minute you cross that line, you lost me as a viewer.
Like, I want to be entertained. That's why I'm going to see the movie.
Exactly. It's still got to be entertainment.
Right.
You know, a softer hand with the open border policies.
Right.
A little more subtlety.
A little more subtlety in those regards would have made a lot more sense. And if they had had a better person behind the wheel on the villain, the ending probably would have made a lot more sense too. Which we both kind of agreed. It kind of just went, what? Like, all right, what spoilers? We're going to throw spoilers.
Absolutely.
We're throwing spoilers.
Let's
out
get them
there.
up there.
We're getting there. Okay, so this whole movie, Eric Killmonger, the villain, is trying to raise everything that Wakanda had down to the ground. Like, he wanted to destroy it. He burnt this whole field of the violet blue flowers that Black Panther uses to use his power. Like, he was destroying all their traditions. And then at the end of the movie, in his dying breath, he's like, I want to see the beauty of Wakanda. What the fuck?
Yeah. You just tried to destroy it.
You were trying to ruin it the whole fucking time, and then all of a sudden you want to see the beauty? But that's what I'm saying. He did not deliver on the role. The role was written far more complex than he could play it.
Okay.
Had he had more of the tortured conflict that they wanted in the character, this could have been really, really epic
Sure.
from of a villain. I feel like this villain was written as well as Heath Ledger's Joker was written,
Okay.
but just did not get delivered on. That's my opinion. How do you feel about it, Paul?
I feel like that as well.
So if you...
Well, good night, folks.
Yeah, that's it.
So no, if knowing what you know, would you say it was a waste of money going to see it, or that you should have seen it maybe when it came out on Redbox?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I still think it was worth going to see in the theater because it's a big movie.
What do you think, Paul?
I would have absolutely waited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 13, what would you say?
Computing. Hold on. No, I give it a 9.
Really? Good.
Yeah.
But you still would wait for it to be on
Yeah.
Redbox. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, my thing with we'll get to your rating in a second, but my thing with the MCU is at the end they always have like a tie-in to what's going to come up next. So
Yeah, there was like 3.
Really?
There was 3 post-credit
Yeah. Really?
scenes. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Were they good?
are we excited for what's about to come up, or are we kind of just meh?
I was meh about it. I was like, okay, I waited through all this for this.
I don't think they were setting up anything we didn't see in the Infinity War trailer.
Okay.
I definitely see how Infinity War is going to play out now,
Yeah.
and it's going to be Wakanda's fault. But just before I give my rating, I want to say it was a big Hollywood. It was a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was kind of like, and there was some really cool stuff in there. Like the female actors in the movie were awesome.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were.
Like Denai
That's what
Guerrero.
I'll say that about the movie. The female roles were good, really good. I liked them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They were well acted.
T'Challa's sister, Denai Guerrera, playing his lead
It's about
bard.
time to have more.
Oh,
female leads.
they were awesome.
It didn't
Yeah, it's
feel
about time.
it didn't feel like a forced role, you know.
Right.
It felt very natural to the characters. So
Good.
And the story felt somewhere between King Arthur and James Bond, which was awesome.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying there. It was kind of in between the two of them. There was a really awesome sequence in Korea that was just great. If I was going to give it a score, I'd actually go right down where Paul said, 9. It was awesome in a lot of ways, but these movies are really like your villain is your backbone.
Right.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
if you have a weak villain,
Absolutely.
you're gonna lose a little bit
Absolutely.
of something. Had they had a better guy behind the wheel on the villain,
Yeah.
I would have given it a 13.
Awesome.
But for now, I got to give it a 9.
Good to know. We're gonna have
Very
to
good.
go see it after.
I guess. I'll wait till it comes on our box.
Yeah, we'll have a movie night.
yeah. Wait.
I'm not all that impressed. All right, well, we appreciate your input, and this has been Dogmatic Media. Please do not forget, if you agree with us, if you disagree with us, comment, like, subscribe, do
Comment.
all the social media things.
All the things.
All the things.
Please, I want to argue with you.
And
Yes.
like I said in our last segment on Dogmatic Video, check out our sister channel on It Came From the 5-Way Productions. We just released a trailer for my new film, The Box.
Yes.
I'm in it.
Looks really cool.
Me too.
She's in it.
Me
He's
too.
in it. He shot it. It looks really cool. At least we think it looks really cool. We hope you
Oh,
agree.
yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know about you, but I'm awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen me?
I have.
Yeah.
You're pretty good. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.